is Monday, March 16th. We are midway through the month. And yeah, it's not spring where I'm seeing a lot of you being from. Like, I see lots of snow in on the news and hearing about the big storms that have been coming across the country. So I hope that everybody is safe and sound and warm and all of those things. I mentioned on Friday that we are a little bit warmer than we should be here in Arizona this time of year. So I have the opposite weather here, but I have doors open this morning because I'm letting some of that fresh air in. And enjoying a nice breeze. So good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It is March 16th, 2026. This is another episode of Designing with Deb here at artbeads.com/live. Good morning, everybody. Let's see who's here so far. I see Thaisa and Michelle are both here this morning. Thank you, ladies, for being here. They're going to be helping out in the comments if you guys have questions. Laura Rang is here. Good morning, Laura. Sandy says it's snowing in Indiana. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But maybe you like that, Sandra. Maybe you're enjoying that. Texas Tracy is here. Hello. Jan T is here from snowy Montana. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of you guys are getting that snow. Texas Tracy says fresh air is great. Yes, it's most certainly is. Won't last for long though, unfortunately. Hi Hazel, thank you for being here. Millie GM is here from very foggy New York City. Oh goodness, that can sometimes be cool, but can sometimes be kind of, so I hope it's okay. Let's see who else. Mary from Oklahoma is here. Gail C says she's headed for record-breaking heat in Sacramento. Take care with all the snow. Yeah, Gail, we're breaking records too. I lived in Sacramento for a while and I loved that Sacramento got cool at night in the summer. Doesn't get cool at night here, sadly. BJ says windy and cold in Ohio. Oh gosh, you guys. Michelle H says it's colder with tornado warnings in Virginia. I saw that too. There's like all these tornadoes going on as well. Crazy stuff, you guys, everywhere. LJ Hill says it's chilly in Texas this morning. Linda in Boston says she's got rain. Okay, so we've got like all the weather covered here. Cindy says rain and wind in North Carolina. Hannah from Iceland. Wow, you guys, I just watched a hawk land on my roof just outside of my office. Wow, that was wild. Okay. Sorry, you guys, a little distracted. Gina from Iowa says they're getting through a blizzard. Oh my gosh, you guys. Ruth Alice says all her beading friends, she has terrible weather predicted later today in Virginia Beach. Lisa in PA is here. Thank you, Laura Rang. I made these on a show long while back. Francie in KC is here. Texas Tracy says it's 36 today, but Saturday will be 99. Yeah, we went through that too. Texas Tracy, we had a bout of cold weather and then bam, we're up into almost into triple digits where I am. Monique Daly is here. Ilka is here from snowy Minnesota. Julie is here. Good morning. We are the best meteorologists. Yes, we always have to talk about the weather. I mean, come on, we gotta. Tina says it's windy in Texas. Oh, and Andy says high winds and snow all day. Winnie says hi from rainy Connecticut. Okay, you guys. So I'm so sorry that all of you are dealing with winter weather still, but spring is coming. I know it is. We're going to get there and we're all going to be okay. I'm convinced. All right, you guys, before we get started today, I just want to remind everybody of all the things that are going on because there's a lot of things going on. Today is the last day of the Artisan Brands sale. up to 70% off of all of our artisan brands here at artbeads.com. And there are some amazing deals to be had. So we're going to focus on artisan brands today, but that is an amazing deal. So I hope that you all will take advantage of it through tonight. There's also still a free shipping deal. Orders $29 and more will ship for free in the US and Canada. So that's pretty cool. And we've got the hand-painted pendants and trinket boxes, 15% off. These are little works of art, you guys. This one is actually signed. This one is sold out, but there's only, maybe a few of each available. And these are all hand painted and gorgeous. I made mine into a pendant with a head pin. But this is an absolutely spectacular little bead. You could just literally put this on a chain and you've got an amazing, amazing little pendant. I'm seeing Texas Tracy saying, show my coffee cup. This is one of my favorites, you guys. It's an elephant. So I love elephants. So here's one of my elephant coffee mugs. He's so cute. And I'm going to take a sip. This holds a lot of coffee too. So yes, I always have to have a cute cup. What else? There's also still a deal of the week through the end of today. All of these deals are through the end of today. You can get the Hot Fix applicator and you get a gift with purchase. So you get the Hot Fix applicator on sale, and then you get one of these vials of flat backs, which you can use with your applicator or not. I actually have one of these vials from when we offered these a while back, and mine is like, I've only got like this many left because I use these whenever you need a little bit of sparkle. There's your sparkle. So, okay, you guys, today we're going to talk about artisan brands, elevating your designs. So I am going to flip the camera down in a second, but we're going to do this a little bit workshop style. We're not going to make a full-blown project today, but I thought this might be helpful to you. So especially if you're going to load up that shopping cart with your artisan brands on sale, I can give you some ideas for how to use them, how to elevate your work with some of these touches. How to do that, where to do that, etc., etc. And if you want to shop the show while you watch, there are some shoppable links that will show up on your screen, but you can see everything that's in the show by clicking on that shopping bag icon on your screen. Depending on what kind of device you're watching on, it might be in a different place. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, unfortunately, I can't see your comments live, but we would love for you to come over to artbeads.com/live and watch us live here. And you can chit chat with everybody here. So I flip down, you guys, and I'm going to show this pendant one more time because it's so pretty. Look at this beauty. There's that signature on it. So these are little works of art. So pretty. So I thought that if you still want to take advantage of that 15% off, this one is sold out, but there are lots of others available to you. Where do I find these? So Mary Kate, if you go to the artbeads.com website, you'll see a lot of banners on the screen. There's actually a banner on the screen. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. And if you click on the banner, you can see all of these beauties that are available. So there's lots of pretty ladies that are painted and some really beautiful pieces. So I don't know how many are still available. I'm sure there's still some available, but go to the website and check it out. And it looks like maybe Michelle is putting up a link for them. So that's your pretty pendant, some eye candy for you. So I thought I would start today with something that if you watched my Friday show, I also featured artisan brands and we did more of a personal shopper style show. But I shared some Tierra cast pieces that I thought you guys would like, and I intended to do something with them. So this is the back of it. This is a large flower picture frame in antique copper. This is the back of it, but it had an open bezel in the front. And I intended to do this before the show Friday, but I just didn't get that far. So I wanted to show you what I was intending to show you today. Now, there are only 9 of these little picture frames available. There's only 9 left. I think some of you scooped some up on Friday. So these are beautiful antique copper by Tierra Cast, one of our artisan brands. And they have this little bezel setting in the center. And I think the intention was to put a picture in them or put something in them. And so what I did was I used some seed beads, and I used them from this seed bead blend. So this is one of our Art Beads designer blends, and it is a big, huge vial of some seed beads, and this is called Carnival Candy. And these are all size 6 seed beads, so they're fairly big ones. And I used this product. Now, this is sold out. We have carried this in the past, but this is what I used to embed them into my little bezels. So literally just dropped in a little bit of the diamond glaze, put in my seed beads in a little flower pattern, and then just put just a tiny bit more diamond glaze on top. And I love the color, so I pulled out kind of the peachy beads that were in that designer blend and just put them in, and it looks like a little flower in a flower. So I love these. I had so much fun making these. You could also do this with 2-part or UV resin. Either way, you could do that so easily. And there's only 9 of these little pieces left. I also used some really beautiful 21 gauge copper ear wires. These are in a bright copper, but they look really beautiful with the antique copper. So that's what I wanted to show you last week. So scoop up these little bezels because they make some really fun, holders for whatever you want to put in them. Seed beads, pictures, whatever the case may be. So I had fun making those. So let's talk about elevating our designs. So I pulled out this weekend some braided leather that I had. This is available, and it is a flat braided leather. This is a black leather. It's made by Leather Cord USA, so it's a beautiful made in the USA product. And I love a good braided leather because it's got texture to it. It makes it interesting. And if you wanted to create a bracelet, you might like that it just is a simple braided leather. It's got that texture, not simple, but not fancy either. And what if you wanted to do something to put ends on this? So there's lots of ways to finish a leather piece. And one of the ways are those little metal clamps. They're crimp ends, you might hear them referred to. And some of them out there in the world aren't the best quality. And sometimes when you work with them, the quality comes through because they're just, they just don't look so great. But if you want to elevate this look, so taking your leather bracelet and adding a little something to it, Tierra Cast makes crimp ends as well. And they are all the beautiful qualities of what Tierra Cast does. So they have the detail, they have the quality metals. These are pewter, and they're in an antique pewter color. And they have the Jardin design. So this was from their line, the Jardin line. And these are large crimp ends, and they are double-sided. So they've got a design on both sides. You can pick which design you want to use, but all you would need is some really good glue. So you need like an E6000, or you could even use a super glue in this case because you don't have any, crystals or anything around it. But you can take this end and put this on, and you've got a beautiful finish to a simple design, but you've added a little bit of elegance to it by creating this beautiful finishing with an artisan piece. So I love the look of this. What I would do, and I'm not going to do it today, but I would take some glue and drop it in, and very carefully drop it into this piece. And I would use a toothpick and kind of spread it around on both of the sides. So just very carefully. In fact, let me grab a toothpick out of my drawer. I'll show you what I mean, just so you could see if this is something that makes you nervous. So I would take my toothpick and I would just spread just a nice thin layer. You don't want too much. And then I would take my piece, pop that in, and then I would use a flat nose plier, and I've got my coated ones, my coating's starting to come off, and I would pinch it together. And being very, very cautious when you're pinching it together. But that's how I would do this. And if you had both of your ends, then you can add your clasp to those two loops at the ends. So you're taking something that has a little bit of texture and a little bit of interest, and you're just elevating the look. And what I love about adding something like this is showing the clasp, I like to use that term, showing the clasp is something that you can be proud of then, because you've got a really nice quality crimp end on your piece versus some of those really flimsy ones that can be functional, but maybe just not so beautiful. So this adds a really nice finishing to a leather piece. So that's something fun. Hello, Santa Barbara girl. Thanks for coming. We're just getting rolling here. We're doing some workshop style discussion today about using artisan pieces in your work. So that's something fun I thought I would show you. Now, I am fully going to endorse that you could take all artisan beads, all artisan charms, and create a piece with all of it. So this design here, I've shown this a few times. This is all Raven's Journey check glass. And for my little charms, I've got Raven's Journey and I've got some tiara cast as well. This is a tiara cast Monstera charm. I love this bracelet too. Laura Rang is one of my favorites. And I also used these fun little, I think these are also tiara cast little fun little components that slide onto your piece. So this is all artisan. I fully endorse you grabbing a bunch of Raven's Journey and some tiara cast and some memory wire and creating a really fun bracelet like this. That may be a little bit too much artisan for you. So a lot of what I've got to show you today is about combining artisan with other things. So I am going to show you a few little tips and tricks here, and I'm going to start with grabbing some 19 strand beading wire, and I want to show you this fun thing that I found. So this is some of my this is kind of a catch-all beading wire size. My package is getting very worn off, but this is a great beading wire for kind of your run-of-the-mill. Most things will work with. I've got a bunch of dagger beads here, and I showed these on Friday. These are some incredible dagger beads. Are the red flower beads in the bracelet still available? I do not think that they are, Christy. Unfortunately, I tried to look for them, and they're not. But there are other flowers available for you. Some are in the shopping bag. So here are some single hole check glass daggers by Raven's Journey. And I'm going to cut my strand here. See if I can get that without too much trouble. And then I also found some daggers by Tierra Cast that are metal. Now, I had never seen these in person. I had seen them in pictures before, and I thought these were so super cool. So Raven's Journey in the check glass, and then look at these. These are white bronze plated pewter. So they've got a white bronze plating on them, and they're like a hammered dagger. So they've got that hammered finish to them, and look at them. They are the same, roughly the same size as the dagger here. So these are 16 by 5 millimeters, and these have got to be either exactly the same or a little bit different in size. So this is just a little something you could do if you wanted to create a dagger bracelet. So I'm just going to put a few daggers onto my wire here. So if you wanted to do a fun dagger bracelet, actually I'm going to grab some seed beads here too. So I'm going to take these, you guys know I love demi rounds. So these are some demi rounds in rose gold. So we're just going to have fun here with how to elevate your designs with some Artisan Brands. So I'm going to take a few of my demi rounds just to create some spacing. And I think I'm only going to do 2 instead of 3. And I'm just going to create some spacing here for my dagger piece. So if you're making a bracelet or a necklace, to create some spacing so that the daggers will just hang down, you will need to put some beads in between them. So if you want your daggers to do that thing where a couple of them hang in one direction and one goes in the other, you will just stack them next to each other. So just going to show you really quickly how you can elevate a fun design like this. So we're just using some daggers in check glass, and then look how cool this is going to look. So just creating something interesting. So you could do you could do a necklace or a bracelet in all of the check glass with just a couple demi rounds in between. I love the idea though of this being a necklace. And then you can take a series of these little metal daggers to be your focal. So it's going to be just a really interesting and unique piece. And you can, thank you for the hearts, you guys. And then you can take your other beads and just surround them. So I'm just going to put a few more on so you could see how this might look as a focal on a necklace, or if you want to do a fun and fabulous statement piece bracelet, then you can have some really fun beads on a bracelet. But I love this for a necklace design. Let me put one more on so you've got the right number, even number, so you can really get a sense of how this would look. And oh my gosh, so this is cool. So imagine this is the base of your necklace. So an all dagger necklace, super fun, but look at the addition of those beautiful metal daggers. I did not know those metal daggers would be so cool, but there they are. So this is a way that you can, I mean, we're already all artisan here except for our spacers, but like, look how we elevated that look by just adding some metal there in the center. Super fun. So showing you those in case you've never seen these metal daggers before, they're cool. And then, of course, these daggers are just super cool. Yeah, Denise, they are. They're really neat. And I even thought if you wanted to do like here's a piece of wire. So if you wanted to do an earring, so you could take just like 3 daggers and put spacers in between and then create a loop. And you've got a really fun little dangly look with your daggers as well. So just really neat and interesting. And I am a firm believer that, again, your designs don't have to be complicated, but the pieces and parts that you use can really make your look amazing. So that's an idea for you and something to think about. You can drop all of those daggers into your shopping cart while you watch, so you don't have to leave us. You can just click on that shopping bag and start to add some things. We get smaller on the screen, but we don't go away. You can still hear us and see us as you shop. So I'm going to attempt to pick up all of these demi rounds. Yeah, that's sometimes challenging. This was a full package. So let's see if I can get them back in. Yep. So I think these are also in the shopping bag as well today. All right. So we looked at daggers. We looked at crimp ends. I thought I would also show you these. So I showed you a version of, actually, let me start with the version I showed you Friday. So Friday, I showed you these drops, these melon drops. And there are only I think there were only 5 left when I was looking at it on Saturday. These are gorgeous. They are an absolutely spectacular Raven's Journey bead. So it is a melon shaped drop, and they are an incredible aqua blue with a gold wash. So they've got that gold wash in all of the little indentations that make this look like a melon. This is gorgeous. I actually found, so these are not available on Art Beads, but I had these vintage beads and I took the drops and put them with these vintage beads. And I just thought that really elevated that look. So cool old vintage bead, not available at Art Beads, but just showing you how you can take a beautiful artisan bead and you just need a couple of them to create a really cool design. Now I found another one of these melon strands, and I just about gasped when I opened the package because these are such a lovely color. This is spring in a bead right here. This is also a Raven's Journey check glass 13 by 8 millimeter lilac purple opaline with an antique gold wash. I mean, hello, look at these. So I wanted to show you these beads with some other Raven's Journey beads. If you're looking for sort of that all artisan look, let me show you these up close. And the way that they put the wash on them, they're all a little bit different. So they almost look like antiqued, like these were resurrected out of someone's attic in Paris. Hi, Lori. Thanks for being here. So the color is gorgeous, and I think these are a perfect spring bead. And I thought I would pair them with these. Also Raven's Journey. These are lily beads. So these are some of my favorite shapes. In fact, my earrings today are lilies. I made these a while back in kind of metallic. So I was doing like a mixed metal vibe, and these actually hang a little bit sideways. So they're super fun. But I love this lily bead shape. It is really beautiful. And this color is also a beautiful lilac opaline. And this has a dark, I don't have the full description, but it has, I think, like a dark copper wash on it. So I thought I would show you just really quickly how you could put these together and create something really interesting. So I got to cut this one. So this is pretty. And you know what else I would do with these? This is an all artisan look. I would also pull in this beautiful bead. Now this comes in, I think, a few different metal tones. Look at this beautiful tiara cast, oxidized brass plated Jardine puffed bead. So this is a bead, and it is double-sided with this beautiful floral design. This is absolutely spectacular. This is also, I also wanted to show you this color. So this is antique pewter. So if you like more of a silver look, you've got options. So I thought we would make sort of a quick spring bracelet here. I'm not going to finish this, you guys, but I want to show you how this looks together. So I would do, and I've got some seed beads here. These are 11/0s, and these are a gold lined crystal. So they're like a crystal clear seed bead with some gold lining. So they look really pretty with this combination. And I'm going to bring in some bronze color 19 strand here. And this is what I would do here. So I would put, actually, let me start with this. So I'm going to put a few of these beads. Santa Barbara Curl says, my husband is designing with the purple lilies. Oh, okay. I'm excited about that. Does your husband make jewelry, Santa Barbara Girl, on a regular basis? Or are you pulling my leg, or are you being funny? I don't know. Tell me. Do tell. Tell me more. I want to know. So I'm putting 2 seed beads here, and I'm doing just a few flowers. So husband is saying green leaves and little yellow flowers. Okay, yes. These purples look beautiful with yellows, with greens, with all kinds of colors. Oh, he's throwing out ideas. Well, the 2 of you are great idea people. My gosh, I can't imagine. You guys must have like everything all worked out because you always have great ideas. So here's our lilacs. So I'm just showing you how a pattern of those might be amazing. And then I just got to move all these up a little bit. And then you could add a focal, which we've got this beautiful tiara cast focal. I had never seen this in person either, and I was so excited to see this beautiful coin bead. It's a little bit weighty, so I would add a charm or something at the base of your bracelet, so that you kind of counterbalance that. But it would make a great pendant for a necklace, or a good, kind of a good focal for your necklace too. So here's what I would do. I would do an asymmetrical piece with lilies on one side of your focal and your your melon teardrops on the other side. And this would make a really cool piece. I'm not going to finish, but I want to show you the possibilities here. So this is very monochromatic, all of this beautiful lilac color with the beautiful washes and then that beautiful focal. I just love the idea of spring bracelets. I wear a lot of I wear stacked bracelets all year round, but a lot of beautiful springy color stacked bracelets are what I especially love this time of year. Thanks, Michelle. So just, play around with this concept. You could mix up the beads, but you could do half of your bracelet as lilies and half of your bracelet as melons, or, again, mix them up. But this is an divine artisan piece that if you put this out on your table at a farmer's market or a craft fair that you're selling at, you can tell people these are artisan brand beads, artisan brand check glass, artisan brand metal, and share the origin of these things, and people will be really thrilled to see them. So here up close is how these beads look next to each other. That beautiful purple color, but you could certainly add other colors. And these there were only a few left, you could do a design mixing the drops too. So you could do some of these and some of these together, do that same kind of asymmetric on either side, or you could mix them up like this. So just showing you the design possibilities here. So something like this with the mixed colors, or you could do all of your purples on one side. So that's something really fun, really unique. The purple and turquoise are great together. I just love that Raven's Journey feels like, I mean, I know they're not intentionally saying, okay, all of these things should go together, but it's amazing how well they actually do. So they source these things in the Czech Republic, very specifically designed for all of you. So the colors are probably thought through, and they probably are saying, people can combine all of these things together nicely. So I'm going to bring this bead back for a moment, but in the silver. And we're going to take a look at some other options for you, some design options. We're doing some designing and talking about how to elevate your designs with Artisan Brands. So here's that little tiara cast coin bead again. If you like silver and not the brassy tones, this is beautiful. The purple and turquoise is my jam. So here is a way that you could do something fun with this one. So I'll show you another drop option. There is another drop option in the show, and it's this one. Now this has do I know what kind of wash? This is a platinum wash on this. So my thought was, if you wanted to do a silver with the platinum here, it would be interesting. So getting that packaging out of there. So this would be really beautiful as an earring. So I showed you my vintage bead design. I love the idea of this as an earring. So this is a little bit weighty, but this is not. So you kind of you can get away with this. I can't wear heavy earrings, but I could wear this because it's balanced with this bead. I want to see those lilies hanging upside down. Oh, well, let's see what that looks like upside down. We could do the lilies with this bead as an earring also. So let's put it in my hand here. Let's do it this way. So something like that would be really, really cool. Almost looks like a little skirt, or the flower has, kind of tipped over in the garden. So that's pretty. And something that I'll show you one more tip that you could do here. So this is another Tiara Cast product that I really enjoy. Tiara Cast does have some really cool spacer beads. So this is a Rococo round Hishi spacer. It's 4 millimeter and it's antique silver, and it has like a beading design on it. And it is a super nice hole, so it accommodates a lot of things. You could do something like this. So take your melon. Oops. Oh man, where did that go? Here it is. You could take your melon drop and add just a little bit of a metallic spacer, and then add your metal bead like that. So look at how that elevates your design. So if you wanted to, you could just do this guy. Let me put that on in the direction I want it. So you could do it just this way, but look how this elevates the design, just adding a little bit of a spacer there. So that's really interesting. And you could do that if you grab some of these little spacers today. That's how you can create some artisan magic. So just take your little spacers and just create a little bit of something and a little bit of texture, and you've got a really cool earring. And all you need to do is wire wrap this up top and put that on an ear wire. And speaking of ear wires, Tierra Cast makes ear wires too. And we have these in stock. So this is a shape that we've offered before, but Tierra Casts are a little bit different in that their loops are a little bit larger, and this is a little bit different shape, just slightly. But you could take this beautiful earring and put this onto a beautiful Tierra Cast ear wire, and this they're calling French hook ear wire with, and I don't have the last word on my package, but it's super, super cool. So Denise says the platinum wash gives a bead a metallic feel. Yeah. The Raven's Journey beads and their washes are really special. Every time I see them, I always dig the washes that they select. And this color, I don't know if I told you what the color is. It's purple silk. So this is a more opaque purple than the lilac ones that I showed you earlier. So I can show you the difference between these. Look at the difference in just how the bead is put together. So this one is more, a little bit more transparent, but with that antique kind of wash. And then this one is just the wash in the ribbing of the bead, and this is an opaque bead. So really, really cool, super neat beads. And that's why I say these artisan beads, this is an all artisan piece right here. And this would probably fetch you a nice payment if you put these on your table at a craft fair or a spring bazaar or something like that. So anyways, I just, when I started to pull these things together and see how they look together, it just really makes me think about how you can just do something so simple to elevate what your designs are. And you've got a cool selection of things here at Art Beads. So even though this little lilac, this little lilac flower is gold or a coppery wash, you could still do the same thing and add your little spacer, add your large bead. Really interesting. You could switch this up. I mean, there's lots of different ways you can take this piece and create a similar vibe. Look at this, is pretty together. This looks like a flower in a flower pot. OMG, like that is so cool. So if you were just doing that bead, it might not look quite like a flower pot. All the flower pots with the beaded flowers and things are so popular right now. So anything that sort of has that vibe gets my attention. But that looks like a little flower pot, doesn't it? Ah, I love that. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is, darling. So again, you guys, just getting a few of these things. I would grab some of these just to have them for these little instances of a little metallic spacing. Just something interesting, something unique. We just made a little flower pot, and that's pretty fun. So these are great, you guys, too. And that will make a great flower bracelet focal. And someone had asked about the flowers before. I believe these are still in stock. These are a check glass hibiscus flower in a turquoise opaque. And I think this wash is like, I don't know. I think it's like a Picasso wash. I'm not sure, but it's got the Picasso around the edges. And you know what? I'm just thinking to myself, What if we did this? Okay. What did I do with my little spacers? Did I already put them? Oh, I put them back. No. All right. Well, I've got some different spacers. So we'll do the same thing over here. These are 4mm antique copper plated pewter little plain spacers. So these don't have all of the detail, but I still think we could do something fun here. So speaking of the flower pot idea, okay, let's take the coin bead as our base, and then we're going to add this little guy, and then here's our flower on top of the flower pot. So a little bit of a mixed metal look, but it's a flower in a flower pot. I also think it looks a little bit like a perfume bottle. Like this part looks like a little perfume bottle, and then we just have a little flower coming out of our perfume pot or our perfume bottle. So these flowers are absolutely spectacular. I think these are my well, I don't want to say they're my favorite because there's another flower that's also like almost my favorite. This is another one I love. Look at these, you guys. These are still available also. These are wild rose orange opaline with a pink wash. Can you believe this? These are also Raven's Journey. So the check glass I'm sharing with you today is all Raven's Journey. And that is one of our artisan brands here at artbeats.com. These are spectacular. So you could do the same thing here. Let me find the hole on this guy. Oh my goodness, look at that. Is so cute. Oh my goodness. Thaisa, Thaisa, just, this is just something we just came up with right now. So these are blowing me away too. So I think I'm going to have to do some of these earrings, for myself and sport these because they are so much fun. So all of the flower pot things right now, super fun. And you guys, these little spacers, these little tiara cast spacers are just nice quality. Again, some of the spacer beads out there in the world are not the best quality, but you can be assured that with tiara cast, you've got a really nice artisan quality bead. So grab some of those other spacers. I still don't know what I did with them. They're like somewhere here on the table, but now I can't see them anymore. But these little copper ones are great too. So grab some spacers. And if you want to do a bracelet, you could literally just do all flowers. And I would do more than one spacer in between because that's how I do. So look at how pretty this would look and you could do a whole bracelet with these beautiful Raven's Journey flowers and these beautiful tiara cast spacers. So a little bit of metal, a little bit of check glass, and these are just stunning flowers. Oh my gosh. You could do the same. You could take a blue bead and then an orange bead, and you could do an all flower bracelet. So pretty. Hi, Karen A. Thank you for coming. So this is just, these are slightly different flower styles, but that's part of what makes them fun. I've got a couple of shows coming up where I'm going to focus on some fun spring designs, and I'm going to be working with a lot of flowers, and I just love the flowers this time of year. How about all flowers and dragonflies? So Santa Barbara girl, if you're interested in dragonflies, I would pay attention to the Art Beads website or Facebook page tomorrow, because there's some things coming that you might enjoy going with all of your flowers. So a spring flower garden. Yes, I love flowers. I go nuts this time of year with flowers. I just love flowers in my designs. So we got lots of artisan options today for that. Now I want to show you one other thing that I think might be helpful to you, might be interesting for you. So I showcased a couple of beads on Friday with Golem beads. And I think you guys are familiar with Golem. I'm trying to find, I had 2 Golem beads here. So on Friday, I showed 2 beads. One of them sold out, and I'll show you the one that sold out. It's this one. And Golem Design Studio is a ceramic design studio based in Bulgaria. And they hand make each one of these beads. They carve them, they glaze them, they fire them all in their own studio. None of this work gets shipped out to somebody else. So, Lori, stay tuned for tomorrow. There's going to be some fun things coming your way that I think you'll be happy with. This one is sold out. That's one of the smaller lentils. I wanted to keep this here to show you. And then this one I shared, and this is one of my most favorite Golem beads, this flower design. So this is one of their larger ceramic lentil beads. One of our beloved shapes, one of their most popular beads. I think it is their most popular bead. So I have a new one in the show today, and I'm going to take this one away because that one's sold out. These are still available, I think. They also have a really cool dark clay that they use. So this is it's a brownish black color, and there's a few of these in the shopping bag. This is one. I picked the one with the fish because fish are so popular still. Last year, fish kind of landed on the jewelry scene again, and now this year they are back again, full force for the spring and summer seasons. Also, stay tuned tomorrow for something coming to artbeads.com because there may or may not be fish involved. So this is white on dark clay. And I wanted to show you this one. This one is in today's show. I did not have it in Friday's show. But I wanted to show you, sometimes folks, when they work with these lentil beads, are challenged by the shaping of the hole of their Golem bead. So Lori says, I was honored to meet him and his wife at a bead and button show. Yeah. So Lori, I met Vlad in Tucson. I think my very first trip to Tucson, and like maybe 13 or 14 years ago now. And I loved him from the start, and I was honored to go and visit them in Bulgaria last summer or late spring, early summer. They are the most incredibly kind people and so talented, so just like family. So I love them and I love their artwork. So some folks are challenged by this, like the way that the holes are on these lentil beads. If that bothers you, because it can mean your wire is visible, there's plenty of ways to jazz up that, that kind of a design or that kind of issue. So this is the same bead. I made this sometime last year. And what I did was I actually put seed beads all the way through the bead. So actually, I think are these seed beads? Yeah, these are seed beads. And when I created this, what I did was I also used some teacup beads. Now, teacup beads are not an Artisan brand thing, but they are a cool check glass bead. And now I've lost those on my tray over here. Well, let me grab my box of teacups here. I do have the box handy. So a teacup bead looks like a little teacup. So this is not the color I would choose to go with this design, but the teacup bead is made by Starman, and it is a 4x2 millimeter little cup. So this is like a little cup. It has a hole through the center, so it's domed and concave, and this can create an interesting little bead cap vibe. And for this design, I literally used the seed beads and the teacups throughout the design. And when you put seed beads through this lentil bead and then put something at either side of it, you've got only the same kind of beads that are continuing through your piece. And it looks like, it looks intentional, like to, create this continuity. So that is how I like to do my pieces. I do kind of freak out a little bit when my wire shows. I'm just being fully transparent with you. So for me, I felt like this was a great solution. So the little teacups could actually be flipped around too. It would still expose that wire. But if you are like me, you might want to take some seed beads and put them through the center. And I've just used some check glass here. I don't think any of the check glass in this piece are Raven's Journey, but this I used some small daggers and some round check glass and just kind of made this fun, colorful. Rhodonite would look really beautiful with this bead. So just showing you a way that you can take one artisan bead, just one beautiful piece of artwork, and put it onto a bracelet and, put some other things with it. And you've got an amazing, one-of-a-kind piece. So if you want to jazz up and elevate your work, a simple one bead can make a huge difference. And for this piece, and all of them are two-sided, for this piece, you could do something really fun, and you could do all white beads, and then have your white seed beads through the center of the bead. And it's just really interesting and unique, and it would just look so cool. This is a smaller lentil. So this is the larger size. This is a smaller size. You might be more inclined to go with a smaller bead than a large one on your wrist. But I actually love how this one came out. There's so much dimension here that the smaller beads really just make that large artisan bead pop. So just a really interesting and fun way to showcase the artisan piece, but also to elevate your jewelry designs. So super fun. Let's see. Michelle says turquoise would be pretty with that too, and maybe a pop of red. Yeah. Do I have? Let's see. I don't have any turquoise. Oh, you know what? I sure do. But I wouldn't necessarily pair these together. And this one, this particular bead is not in stock, but I have some replacements in the show. This is a dragonfly. I forgot. Santa Barbara girl, there are these dragonfly beads in the show today, but they're a little bit different than this one. So I don't know. You could do that too. This is so cool. So that turquoise looks really pretty with this. And I've also got, let me show you these. This Raven's Journey bead is amazingly cool. This is a 10 millimeter nugget cut Gaspionite opaque with brown. And so this has like a really cool stone look to it. I don't know if I'd put that together with the fish one. Oh yeah. So red for sure. Red would look cool. Orange, any bold color would look really cool with this. I was thinking, maybe even a multicolored bead might look interesting. These are just cool beads, you guys. I wanted to see what these looked like in person, because in person, sometimes these beads look much prettier than the pictures. Pictures are always good, but sometimes just seeing them in person, they really show you their beauty. So yeah, the fish bead could go with some really beautiful colors. Here's what that fish bead would look like with a bunch of pink too. That would look fun. So you could do, pinks and silvers, pinks and golds, and you could throw in some white beads in there as well. I also wanted to show you a couple of other quick things. If you like a good Saturn bead, I think the Raven's Journey Saturn beads are always extra spectacular. This one has blue tones, and it is spectacular. I mean, these are just cool beads. So this is a great time to grab these Raven's Journey beads on sale. They're really, really beautiful beads, really gorgeous. Look at the shape of them. They're like a little planet, like a little ring around Saturn. Super beautiful, super pretty. Put those there. Look at these. So we looked at a few spacers that Raven's Journey does in a micro spacer, and I found some silver ones, you guys. So we looked at orange. I've got them here. I'll show you those too. We looked at orange, and we looked at, actually it's called ochre, and we looked at bronze. So if you want to grab now a silver one, so this is the bronze, this is the ochre, and by the way, hello, look at that combination. So pretty. But then there's the silver. And I'm a big fan of having silver spacers, gold spacers, bronze spacers, copper spacers. So, and then some colorful ones too. So honestly, you could make a bracelet with all three of these and just add a focal bead of some sort. Look at the orange. Ooh, here's a good one for you guys. Look at the orange with this, the ochre with this super cool combination. So these are the kind of thing to have hanging around because they could just add a little bit of elevation to your design, to some nice quality spacers, check glass spacers. Most folks probably aren't thinking to use those as spacers. One other interesting thing. Oh, here's my teacups. I just found them under something else. So I was actually thinking for another design is these suede gold crystal teacups would look pretty with this design and with these as well. So if you're looking to do that little trick of combining seed beads and teacups around your lentils, there you've got a super fun idea. So these this little teacup bead is mighty. They're small, but they're mighty, and you get a ton of them in your tube. So that's suede gold crystal. Okay, couple more things just so you are in the know. This is another way you can elevate your design. So these are called guru beads, and they're really interesting. So they are a bead and a bail all together. And I've got two different metal tones here. One is the white bronze plated. The other is gold plated, both pewter, but gold plated and white bronze plated. Tierra Cast has made guru beads for a long time, and they're really interesting because you can, and I'm gonna string one of these up really quick. I know we're a little over here, but some of you that are snowed in might want to hang for a little longer. So I'm just going to quickly show you how this might look. So I'm going to take the a couple of beads. These are pretty big for this bail, but you could have a necklace, let's say, and string all of your beads and then string on that guru bead, and now you have a loop. What can you do with that? You can do a wire wrapped bead and just wire wrap directly to your loop or attach with a jump ring, or you can attach a charm or a pendant. You could grab, I know these don't match, but you could grab an artisan bead and you can attach it there. So you've got this really cool metallic bail and some beads, and it just creates that little bit of extra elevation to your design, and just gives you some fun flexibility. And I just saw a question from Deb, what else do you do with teacup beads? I've never used them before. So I've done a few shows and a few projects with the teacups, and I've literally made an entire teacup bracelet. I don't have my teacup bracelet in here, but you can literally do that. I could maybe do a feature of a teacup bracelet at some point coming up. I got some shows to plan. So this is just a fun little component, and it's nice quality, tiara cast quality, you guys. So this is just a fun thing to have, and it creates that little interesting bail for your design. So if you guys are interested in a teacup project, let me know. I can you put the Saturn bead with metal coin bead? Yes. Let's see, I think. So Saturn beads are here. And let me open up this package. If you guys are interested in some teacup projects, we could do some teacup projects. I'm going to grab a spacer here so I can show you that magic. We'll make a teacup flower pot. Or not a teacup, a Saturn flower pot. So yes to the teacups. Okay. So that sizing is actually quite nice. I think that's a nice size. So if you wanted to do the Saturn beads and then have your coin bead as a focal, that would work really nicely. And this would actually be a great size for the guru bead too. And the guru beads would look really neat around the silver one. So that's pretty cool. So, and I could work with some guru beads too in a project. If you guys are interested in seeing the guru beads and how those might work, coming together in a much, broader project. Tea time, Gina. Yes. I love me some tea. So that's just something fun. Both in one piece. Yes. So, I hope you guys got a few ideas from today's show. This was just meant to be like a fun workshop, how to bring some of these artisan elements into your designs, how to incorporate them, and just add that little something extra. Artisan pieces are always good. You could literally, so these that are in our special sale through the end of today, these could just go on a chain. Like you could just say, I just want this beautiful work of art here on my neck. You could do the same with a large lentil for Golem beads. Just put that on a really thin chain and it just kind of stands out as your little piece of art. You don't have to do fancy things with them, but just having those beautiful pieces creates a little bit of something extra. So don't forget to check out, you guys, because some of these things were like almost gone. Yes to the Guru project. Okay. Let's see. Yes to the teacups. Yes to the Gurus. And Francie says, I always wanted to buy a dive helmet. Then I found out how expensive they are. Instead, have a candy arrangement on my hearth instead. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what else. That's a great fit. Lori, thank you for being here. Santa Barbara girl, thank you so much. Let's see. Thank you from Tracy. Thank you guys for all being here. I hope that you will take advantage of some of the deals that are going on. Tomorrow, you'll have a show with Julie Bean. She is coming up tomorrow. And as I mentioned, there's some fun product launch coming tomorrow that you guys will have to see. It's so much fun. You are going to be ready for the spring. And let's see. Becky will be back on Thursday, and I'll be back on Friday. Oh, and Julie will be in the middle on Wednesday. So we will be here all week sharing some fun things with you guys. Thank you so much for being here as always. Thank you to Thaisa, Michelle. I'll see you guys on Friday.